There's nothing like, oh, I want to rush and finish a UI syllabus. Or Hi guys, welcome back to the Studentship YouTube channel. If you are new here, make sure you click on the subscribe button and like this video. Today we are going to be talking about the mighty University of Ibadan post-UTME exam. I know most of you are scared, like you are thinking, oh, will I be able to pass this exam? Because UI post-UTME exam is the most standardized in all the universities in Nigeria. Because it's UI. UI is the best university you can think of. You know, studying UI is very competitive, and that is why the post-UTME exam, it's not shy's play. But I don't want you to fret, I don't want you to be scared, because in this video I'm going to give you guys on how you can prepare and pass this exam with flying colors. Because even with all you hear about this exam, there are students who still smash 90 over 100 in their post-UTME exam. So I can assure you that this video is going to be helpful to you. So the first thing you need to know about passing the University of Ibadan post-UTME exam is actually knowing the exam format. There's no way you can go for this exam without knowing the structure, like what you will be expecting on the day of the exam. One good thing about this post-UTME exam is that the format for UI post-UTME exam is the same as your JAMB subject combination. What do I mean? If you start for use of English, CRS, government and literature in your JAMB examination, that is the same subject combination you are going to sit for in your JAMB exam. So you're not going to expecting like questions from general knowledges and stuff like that. And this format is like the best because you're actually going to be studying exactly what you did in your JAMB examination. Now, it doesn't end there. You have to actually prepare for this subject because it's just like you are sitting for the JAMB examination all over again. But this time around, it's not going to be simple as the JAMB exam because the number of questions are fewer than the JAMB exam. So you don't have that opportunity to fail a lot of questions. That is why you have to really prepare yourself. So this is just the format for the post-UTME exam, and you are going to answer 100 questions. Now you've known the format for the post-UTME. Now the next thing you need to do is to create a study plan because you have 4 subjects to sit for in the post-UTME exam. You have to find a way to create an effective study timetable. Unlike your JAMB examination, you need to take your game up. Now, in these 4 subjects, you have to first of all identify those subjects that are challenging to you. There are students that, biology is not really an issue for them, chemistry is not an issue for them. So you have to first of all look at your JAMB score, know those subjects you perform poorly and those you did very well. Then that will help you to create a study plan. We have 7 days in a week. What I usually advise students is to assign a subject for each day. So for Monday, you can decide to study, let's say, biology, Tuesday, chemistry, Wednesday, physics, and so on and so forth, depending on the subject you are sitting for in your JAMB examination. Now, you can decide to study a subject twice in a week. If use of English is not a challenging course for you, you can decide to study it once a week. But courses that are very challenging, like maybe physics, literature, like CRS, those subjects that are very demanding, you assign 2 days to it. And you make sure that you stick to that study timetable. Now, one of the mistakes most students make is that after they've gotten a very good score, like high score in their JAMB examination, they actually relax, like they feel I have 320, I have 290 in my JAMB, there's really no need for me to put in much effort. The truth is that that is actually a wrong mindset. Your post-UTME exam is the last step you need to gain admission. So even with your high JAMB score, you need to make sure you also smash your post-UTME exam for you to stand a chance of gaining admission. Now, so guys, the next thing you need to know is to actually determine your chances for admission. Unfortunately, I still see a lot of students who say, well, I have 250, I have 240, and I want to study medicine and surgery at the University of Ibadan. The bitter truth is that it's not going to work because there's no way you are going to stand a chance for a competitive course like medicine, law, pharmacy with a low JAMB score. So you actually have to first of all know if your JAMB score is suitable for the course you are applying to study at the University of Ibadan. like let me use medicine for example. If you want to study medicine and surgery, you need a JAMB score of over 300. I'm talking about 315, 310 and thereabouts, because if you have below 290, below 280, you're already at a very big disadvantage, because University of Ibadan is a highly competitive university. And what does that mean? It means that a lot of students all over Nigeria are actually applying to study those competitive courses at the University of Ibadan. Now, sometimes your JAMB score might not be able to get you your dream course at UI, but that JAMB score can get you admission in a different university or a state university, something like that. So I want you to be able to, first of all, analyze your JAMB score. You have to first of all know if your JAMB score can get you admission for UI. Now, if you are confused or you are not sure whether your JAMB score is high enough for the course you want to study at the University of Ibadan, you can let me know in the comments section and I'll give you the best advice as soon as possible. Now, another strategy to pass the UI post-UTME exam is to gather study materials. What do I mean by study materials? I mean getting the right textbooks and past questions for you to get a high score in the exam. A lot of aspirants, they ask questions like, do I need to get a post-UTME? Do I need to get what kind of textbooks do I need to study for my post-UTME exam? First of all, let me talk about textbooks. You see, all you have to do is to use the textbooks you use for your JAMB examination, because the UI post-UTME syllabus is same as the JAMB syllabus. So you don't need to get any special textbooks for you to be able to score high in your post-UTME. But there are some textbooks that we're going to enhance, like prepare you better for this exam. And textbooks like, I'm talking about LAMLAD, like for those that are sitting for physics, chemistry, you can use LAMLAD. For biology, you can use explicit biology. I already have a videos on some of these textbooks you can get for your post-UTME exam. So you're not getting any like big textbook, like any special textbook for your post-UTME exam. Use the same textbook you use for your JAMB preparation. Now, the question about past question. Past question is actually a material that will just determine or like help you to know your level of preparation for the examination. You're not studying past question because you are expecting an exact replica, like you want to see an exact question on the day of your exam. It's not going to work like that, because many students, they make this mistake of trying to they cram past question, like they will cram the past question back to back, expecting that on that day I was going to see this question and maybe I didn't know that the answer is A or B. You're just going to get yourself confused. Make sure you study the JAMB syllabus. Use the JAMB syllabus, because what are you doing? You're actually reading for the same subject you took in JAMB. So just try to revitalize the whole process again and try to be better. Those areas you found difficult, like you're deficient during your JAMB examination, try to improve on them so that for your post-UTME you are going to get a very high score in your post-UTME exam. Now you have to practice, 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 and practice. They say practice makes perfect. You have to make sure that you try to practice questions. There's a difference between you just reading, studying your textbooks, than actually like doing active studying. If you are taking a mathematical course, for example, let's say you are an engineering aspirant and you are going to sit for mathematics, make sure that those questions you come across in your textbook and in the past question, make sure you try to solve them yourself, because that is the key for you to be able to answer and tackle those questions on the day of your exam. Many students just read, there's no award for first to finish JAMB syllabus or first to be prepared for the post-UTME exam. There's no award like that. So you have to make sure that you practice. Now, there are also online resources you can use for practicing your post-UTME. Like during my time when I sat for JAMB examination, I was using my school online learning. I highly recommend that you use my school to practice online. Every day you can just decide to say, okay, I want to be practicing 50 questions every day, maybe before dinner or after dinner. Like make sure you try to do active studying. Make sure you try to solve those questions. If it's literature, try to be able to answer those questions yourself. When you read, you study, and you are trying to answer those questions, you begin to find out that there are questions you are not able to answer. So by the time you're able doing this practice, that's when you'll be able to know that, oh, this thing I would think I know, I don't actually know it. You're able to okay, go back to the topic and actually get the full understanding, because like I said earlier, there's nothing like, oh, I want to rush and finish a UI syllabus or nothing like that. Make sure that every topic you read, you actually understand what you've studied. Now, talking about this practice, you have to be very conscious about your time, because you know, this exam is actually a 1 hour exam. Yes, it's actually for 60 minutes. Yeah, 60 minutes thereabout. So you actually have to practice with timing. Like, you can get a past question and time yourself. You can say, okay, between 30 minutes, within 30 minutes, I want to answer these questions. So you time yourself, put a timer on your watch, on your smartphone, and you time yourself. By the time you time yourself, you see that of course, you have to find a way to put yourself under pressure. So when you time yourself, you are used to this kind of, tense environment. On that day of the exam, by the time you start, because I want to tell you, on that day of the exam, there's going to be a lot of tension, like you'll be very anxious. But when you are used to this kind of environment, it's going to help you out, be able to like subsidize or like subside that tension. Another thing you need to do is to actually stay updated on UI news. Like, you have to get the relevant information you need to know. You have to know when the post-UTME exam is out, the deadline for the form, and the date for the post-UTME. Well, all of these informations are easy to get, because if you check the description of this video, you are going to see a link to my Facebook page where you can join and you will get like latest information on UI post-UTME. Now, another thing you need to do is actually to take care of yourself. Although I've said you should study back to back, you should read every day and stuff like that, but make sure that you take care of your health. Most students, they prepare for post-UTME exam, even JAM exam, and unfortunately, on that day of the examination, they fall sick, due to one issue or the other. You have to make sure that you prepare yourself, eat healthy, sleep well, so that your brain, your body, your whole physiology is going to be all right. So that by the time you are going for that post-UTME exam, you are sitting in, with your 100%. You are sitting in 100%. Your body is working. Because I remember there was a time I went for an exam that, I don't know, the problem was I was very hungry, so I was even thinking about, my stomach was just giving me some issues, and that actually affected my performance, even though that was not the reason why I did not do any exam, but I think that was actually what affected my performance. So if you're the type that you have to eat before every exam, make sure you eat very well. But if you're the type that you don't like eating and you are okay, make sure you already understood yourself. If you're not sure of your JAM score for UI, make sure you let me know, so that I can advise you probably to do a change of course to a different university, because University of Ibadan is highly competitive. Most of the departments, they only admit 50 students, 60 students. Medicine and surgery is about 150 students. And the thousands of students are applying to study at UI, because UI is the best university in Nigeria. You have to be very mindful of your JAM score. You have to determine your chances for admission. Now, I hope that with all of this, I've been able to give you some very good insight. But in a way of recapping, make sure you know the exam format, which I've said is the same as your JAM social combination. Make sure you get the right textbooks, the right materials. You don't need to get any special textbooks. Just study the textbooks you use for your JAM examination. And if you can get the past questions, good and fine, get the past question. I always advise, make sure you put in effort to get the past question. You can check for it at any bookshop around your location, and make sure you practice. Make sure you study actively. If you have any question or you need further clarification on this post-UTME exam, let me know in the comments, and I will assist you and get back to you as soon as possible. I wish you success in your exam, and I am praying that you will get a very high score in your post-UTME exam, so that your highest score will beat the cutoff mark. At the end of the day, you get admission to study your dream.